All the other residents at the hotel received an eviction notice in early August.
So where are you looking?
Everywhere.
The
Chicago.
organization's mission is to promote diverse and inclusive communities in northern Cook and southern Lake
There's
counties.
very little affordable housing in the northern suburbs.
You can't further fair housing by throwing out the large percentage of the persons of race and national origin that you
The
have.
Interfaith Housing Center argues tearing down that housing is illegal and is gearing up for another.
The Interfaith Housing Center has worked for 35 years and counting to ensure that the communities that make up the northern suburbs of Chicago are open and diverse and accessible to all people, regardless of wealth or race or national origin, and really to make sure that our communities reflect the rich fabric of our society.
Well, I'm always impressed when any individual or group stands up for the underdog and makes a statement and takes a risk and is on the right side as far as I'm concerned, but it's kind of lonely to be on the right side many times. The foundation of Interfaith at the beginning, we were a mixture of Christians, Jews, Baha'is, and it was strongly influenced by that faith base.
Through its comprehensive array of services, advocacy, and education, Interfaith Housing Center seeks housing justice for residents of all racial, religious, and economic backgrounds. It unites people to promote open and welcoming communities in Chicago's northern suburbs.
I cannot imagine what it would be like if Interfaith did not exist. To own a house is to be a part of the American dream. Unfortunately, this dream is limited. Interfaith, without their presence in our community, I would really be at a loss to really reach out and to assist people in their needs.
It's important to have an organization such as Interfaith Housing who will just do the dogged work of maintaining the principle of fair housing. My personal and some of my business experience in unfair housing is long and dark, but it's brighter with an organization such as Interfaith Housing.
They do that training and they give it in such a way that you feel empowered to share that with others, that you can help them to be empowered.
We have foreclosures that are throughout the country. Morton Grove is also experiencing some of these issues. And I know Interfaith has got an arm of their organization addressing those and helping with that. So the educational part is always, to me, the best avenue. To get affordable housing, somebody needs to step up to the plate.
Interfaith is about people, and people have a right to fair and affordable housing. In myriad ways, Interfaith helps people to exercise that right. Residents in buildings threatened with demolition, citizens frustrated with the lack of low-income housing options, religious leaders speaking out against racial profiling and predatory lending. Interfaith was there for a single mom facing the loss of her affordable apartment. Moving would have meant leaving the community, whose schools had had such a profound impact on the development of her disabled daughter.
It really helped her. I was about to lose my Section 8 voucher, which meaning losing my housing, causing my child to be out of school, and I just don't know what would have happened if I wouldn't have never, ever got in touch with Interfaith Housing.
When a Skokie cab driver challenged a city ordinance prohibiting him from parking his taxi in his own driveway, Interfaith was there to help.
Interfaith has helped tremendously because they have raised this issue that, this would be a discrimination. At one point, I even told my wife, why don't we move out if they don't like us here or something like that, It was very necessary for me to have my cab next to my home. My cab is also my family car.
When Bonnie was faced with job loss and illness, Interfaith's home sharing program provided income for her and affordable housing for a roommate.
Well, if I had not found Interfaith, I think I don't know what I would be doing, actually. I'd probably living in a small apartment someplace and not enjoying life as much as I have.
Thanks to Interfaith, Boris and Irina's faith in the American dream was restored.
We suddenly get an information from the Section 8 program that we have to go to one bedroom.
Быть в одной комнате, и это было бы для нас очень горько.
They are lives and livelihoods, struggling against the barriers of language, racism, and fear. People facing illness and economic challenges. Staging educational workshops. Fighting for fair housing rights. Advocating affordable housing. Conducting applied housing research. Matching individuals through home sharing. Interfaith is a powerful force for housing justice.
Housing for the people who work every day serving our communities, but often are priced out of the housing market in those communities. So if we value affordable housing in our communities, then it requires effort, it requires advocacy, it requires support from the grassroots. People like Jean Cleland and Raina and Marvin Miller, the founders of the Interfaith Housing Center, who were such pioneers in this movement. Their work needs to continue, and the next generation needs to take up the call for fair and affordable housing in our communities.
It's a dream that is reachable.
I am very optimistic.
I applaud their efforts to keep on going.
I think the fact that Interfaith is there is both, inspirational and encouraging.
I'd like to thank Interfaith for carrying the torch, so to speak, through the years for these important causes related to justice, fairness, equality, and not always succeeding, of course, but carrying on.
I would like to say thank you to Interfaith.
Хочу еще раз поблагодарить организацию Interfaith.
Я хочу от всей души поблагодарить организацию Interfaith.
I would like to express my thanks to Interfaith from the bottom of my heart.
I love the Interfaith Housing